Making music is not an unusual form of entertainment in Bangladesh, but the young woman at the center of the performance is. Bibi Russell is a Bangladeshi who has come back to her country after more than 2 decades working as a top model in Europe. And even here, as in Europe, she's being noticed.
I have never been happier in my life. This is what I wanted to do. It took me 20 years to come back, but it's priceless.
Some people may wonder if her words are true, but there is more to Bibi than mere words or lofty sentiments. Since her return 2 years ago, her aim has been simple: to revive the almost dying weaving industry in Bangladesh, an industry that once produced world-famous fabrics like Dhaka muslin and Jamdani. But with increasing competition from cheaper machine-made fabrics, especially from neighboring countries, the Bangladeshi weaver came under serious pressure. Several million weavers across the land have become increasingly impoverished and have been forced to look for more menial and less-paying jobs in the big city. As a result, the entire handloom industry of some 10 million weavers has been threatened. Bibi has tried to reverse the decline.
I have traveled many countries. I don't think anyone can beat us with handloom. We have the oldest tradition. We made history once and we will do it again.
Her approach has been based on an ingenious program of action called Fashion for Development, an idea that seems unrealistic for a poverty-stricken country like Bangladesh. For Bangladesh, fashion can only be a luxury, nothing else.
No. That is how you see fashion. Fashion could be for everyone. Even village people, even a rickshaw puller has their own fashion. Fashion doesn't mean you go and buy $500, $1,000 worth dress. Fashion is a culture. Everyone has it inside. And through fashion, what I say, I'm a creative person. Creative people, today's world has a lot to give. Through culture and creativity, I will eradicate poverty. That's the only way.
Her first 2 years were spent learning the ropes in Bangladesh.
2 years I spend my maybe more than 90% of the time in the villages to find out what's really happening.
In this land of extreme poverty, there is also a kind of extreme strength. And people like Bibi Russell are part of this strength. They are people who believe in Bangladesh, who believe in the future of Bangladesh, and who are making that future happen. Through her own unique style of interacting, socializing, and communication with the weavers, their families, and the village community, Bibi has learned what she believes are the more important lessons about the weaving industry.
Problem is, of course, the traditional skill is there, but they lost their self-confidence.
And they have lost their market. So her first job has been to create a market for handloom, to make it popular and known internationally, and to work in the domestic scene by building resources and skills among young artisans, craftspeople, and creative workers. She started with a small office, a design studio, and production center in downtown Dhaka.
So, of course, slowly there will be, but we need an institute. It's a lacking. We need a big support of the government, non-government organization to have a proper institute. Do you think I alone can save 10 million weavers? No. So they need at least 20 people like me to save the weavers.
They may need more like her, but for a start, she has not done badly at all. Bibi has built up her own fashion line using handloom for her ready-to-wear outfits and jute-based and other natural fibers for her accessories such as shoes, bangles, and other jewelry. Her shows abroad have been incredibly successful, in Paris in 1996, followed by Spain in 1997, and her most prestigious presentation perhaps as the opening show at the London Fashion Week in September 1998. With UNESCO supporting her development initiative and commissioning her services to promote the weaving industry in Africa and South America, Bibi's schedule has become increasingly hectic. Awards come her way from the start. She began her modeling career after having trained as a fashion designer when she graduated from the London College of Fashion in the early 1970s and modeled her own creations. Her height and arresting looks caught the attention of top European houses, and very soon she moved to Milan. It was while based in Milan that she modeled for magazines and then on the catwalk.
I start as a photo model. Then I went to catwalk, and I enjoyed very much because I get to know many designers, techniques which I couldn't have learned. Even studying, you learn more through seeing designers from London, from Italy, from America, from Japan, from Paris. So I have learned. What I have learned all these years, 20 years, I'm giving to my country now.
The weavers and their families know that Bibi has made a difference to their lives. This community on the banks of the Sitalokha River near Dhaka has been making jamdani for hundreds of years. There is an air of prosperity here now.
It's a complicated design. Takes 2 months to do 6 meters, but it's something so exquisite, so beautiful.
Although children work at these looms, they also go to school. For as Bibi says, the trade has to pass down from father to son, otherwise it will die. Because there is increasing consciousness about the needs of children and they will be educated, the new generation will be able to read, write and weave, something which their fathers could not do before them. And that is why everyone applauds enthusiastically as the dancing continues. Bibi is an exciting diversion for the children in the village. For everyone else, she is also their most significant link to prosperity. For South Asian Newsweek, I'm Almaz Zakiuddin in Dokhin Rupshi village, Bangladesh.
Here on Space to Let, we've often criticized the mass media for the way it portrays women and how it reinforces negative stereotypes. Because they use women's bodies to sell products, the advertising industry is perhaps the main culprit. But what we often forget is that models are not just bodies. With faces that are instantly recognizable, models can use their media profiles to influence others. Do you remember the enormously successful "I'd rather be naked than wear fur" campaign? Now, Bibi Russell from Bangladesh used to grace the European catwalks. But these days, Bibi is using her fame for a totally different cause. What is the first thing that strikes you about this exhibition? A reflection of culture and fabric? An amazing array of colors? It is all this, as well as the final play of somebody's dream. Growing up in a family that was much aware of its cultural birthright, designer Bibi wanted very badly to play a part in its development. After graduating from the London School of Fashion in 1975, followed by a 20-year stint as a professional model on the European catwalk, Bibi returned home to her roots and her passion, the handloom.
I didn't come here just to make a shop and make money. I could have done that in Europe because that's where I'm known very much. I wanted to develop something, and as I'm trained by the European, with the European design and everything, why not Bangladesh cannot get into the world market? That is my thing. But that doesn't mean that I don't care about the local market.
As the intricate patterns of each fabric starts to form, the story of the Bengali craftspeople and their famous partner begin to surface. Bibi Russell's work towards uplifting the conditions of the weavers began when she first stood beside them and their craft, both straining for survival.
One day I realized this is my dream, to promote the craft people. Not only in Bangladesh, I know craft people from all over the world. I know they are beautiful things. But as I come from Bangladesh, I thought I need to give my support to Bangladesh first because it has such a negative image. People know many things of not the beautiful things. Only thing they know, they see in the museum is our muslin. But they don't know that we have beautiful gamchas like that, other checks. Where these checks come from? It's from gamcha and lungi. We have lot of weavers, we have lot of craft, other kind of craft people.
More than anything, Bibi wanted to contribute towards giving her motherland a distinct identity of its own. Her ideology was serious, one for a positive Bangladesh with a better standard of living, health conditions, education, as well as a stable future for the people that she'd come to admire. Together with their endurance, the traditional local textiles, the zamdani, the satranji and the tat have continued to exist.
What I want this too. I want the children to have a better education, but I'm giving the people work. You know, I have 2 sons. As I am a mother, I know I want my kids to have a better life. Even the poor people has the same feelings, but they have to eat first. What I'm teaching them, to earn first.
Today, Bibi's interest for human welfare has achieved international recognition. The London Institute of Fashion conferred on her the title of Honorary Fellow in appreciation of her contribution to the field of fashion and design. She is also UNESCO's Special Envoy or Designer for Development. But the highest acknowledgement she will ever receive came from her homeland. Though these ball gatherings are an echo of the past, they are a welcome preamble to a new and revived Bengali culture. Thanks to a certain visionary seer, the future will be one splashed with vibrant color for the people of Bangladesh. For Bibi, her life dream is fulfilled.
Now I have a team which is, I think, everyone is like a jewel, you know. It's a team, we work very closely, it's like a family, as my life is this. I don't know other life. And I'm really, through my work, I'm trying to make the people who made it possible to have my dream, their dream come true. Maybe I wouldn't be able to see it in my lifetime, but I can assure you, the team I have, they will continue. Today, if you give me anything in the world, or if you want to, I wouldn't change it. I would continue to do my work.
Welcome back. Last month, the Natural History Museum was the site for one of the most spectacular and vibrant shows to be included in this year's London Fashion Week. It was the first time that designer Bibi Russell has shown a collection in Britain, and it's certainly got the fashion press talking.
As one journalist wrote, it was filled with singing, laughter and brilliant colour, 3 elements not usually associated with catwalk fashion. Mean and moody is not what Bibi is about. Her philosophy is about a joyous celebration of colour and craftsmanship, and she joins us now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi.
So, Bibi, where do you get your inspiration for your designs?
I get from the people of Bangladesh. You know what you saw, this joy and happiness, that is people there. But we always show the negative side, and I wanted to show the positive. Everything what you show in my show is inspired by the people.
I mean, that is true. The image that we have of Bangladesh is one of, you know, we have images of poverty, of natural disaster, all of that, but we don't.
That is, you know, we have
See
that.
the
We are
other
very
side.
unlucky for that, having, I mean, we had the worst flood this year. But still, we have some beautiful things. I think we need to give a chance to show that. And that is what I wanted to show.
Because it must be quite a shock to the fashion industry here, because at the moment everyone's saying that it's grey and we're very subdued in this country, and then you come over with all this fabulous, bright, vibrant stuff.
You create something what you feel. There is no rule that you don't need to show that. And I felt what what is inside me. And then I think wouldn't you like to wear something you feel happy? Who says that you don't have to smile or you don't have to sing and dance? So I feel to show my collection like that way. Some designers maybe like to not to show, but this is my choice, and I took a chance because I knew there will be, you know, it's not that usually fashion shows with full of love, full of, you know, like sing and dance and models are coming smilingly. But I wanted to show that.
I mean, you actually brought models from Bangladesh with you. So was this the first time that, I mean, are they professional models or?
No.
So was this the first time they'd ever experienced anything like this?
Yes, the people I brought from Bangladesh, 90% of them never even got into a plane before. And can you imagine, they were doing the first show of London Fashion Week. They don't even know what is Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So I
were there any problems? It sounds like a difficult thing to do.
They gave everything they have. They didn't have to lose anything. I mean, I think that's also, you know, it's nice to break through some people from other countries. And I was lucky that I was here and broke through. And if another girl, because most of them are not from the rich family, they can get their family out of poverty.
Because you do see fashion as having a much broader influence than just the clothes that people wear. I mean, you see that fashion can, you know, it can create work, it can help in the fight against poverty.
Of course.
You see a much bigger picture.
Of course, I think creative people has a lot to give in this society, because fashion is like a culture. You need fashion, you know. That doesn't mean that you just have to wear expensive clothes. Fashion is for everyone, and through fashion you can develop a country's economy. About time designers should give credit to the people who makes these things, you know.
Yeah.
If I sell my collection, I would make money maybe doing design, but I can get people who are making fabrics, accessory, get them recognized because they make wonderful things.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you remember, my show is called Stars of Bangladesh, and I dedicate to the unknown people. For me, they are the stars. You know, that doesn't mean only in Bangladesh. There's, throughout the world, there's beautiful craftsmanship, and they should come out.
So you want to revitalize the weaving industry and all that?
What I'm doing I'm in love for handloom things, not only in Bangladesh, in Africa, in Peru, in Tibet. You go everywhere, Vietnam, they make beautiful fabric. In a whole world is going ecology.
Yes.
You know, and we have this thing. Isn't it the time for us to come out?
Yeah, and to use those skills that are there.
Skills, you know?
We're going to take a look at two particular items that you've designed, which are wedding items. So this is modelled by Nick and Kellum, two of our regular models here. And these are the most extraordinarily stunning outfits.
That's amazing, yeah.
So,
do you want to talk us through this?
Yes, we start with the bride's outfit.
Bride's outfit, you know that in our country, when wedding, we wear a lot of bright colors, especially red, the bride wear. And the fabric what I'm showing here is the most exquisite fabric. It's called Jamdani, which is 50% silk, 50% cotton. 6 meters takes 1 month to weave. And only in Bangladesh can make this fabric. It's during the British Raj, Mughal period, it was the most exquisite fabric. And I love it because it has this organza feeling, you know, and it has this thing. And I had little motifs, which is little stars. And of course, traditionally we wear saris in the wedding, but here I just put a little bit of mix. And the headgear, this is actually when the Hindu people get married, that's their typical headgear. Right. But they have it white or off-white, but I colored it a little bit to
What's it made of? It looks like polystyrene, I'm sure it's not.
It is made out of a plant inside things.
Inside of a plant?
Inside of a plant. And we sat in the office, did all these things by hand.
And perhaps you could talk us through now the outfit that Kellum is wearing, the groom's outfit.
Yeah. Actually, that is the typical kind of coat the groom wear in Bangladesh, but they wouldn't wear so red and things, you know, so fast. They wear like off-white, black, or simple colors. And they wouldn't wear the see-through pants like that, but I love it. And this see-through fabric is the new fabric which I invent. You know, we were researching it. It's like an organza. This is the first time we made this organza type of fabric.
So this is the silk and cotton mixed
Silk and
again,
cotton
is it?
mixed. And the trouser is completely silk, the jamdani fabric, and I put the stars in the back.
And the headdress again?
Headdress again, that is typical, you know, actually the village people wear this kind of head.
And now everything that's included in these outfits, from the fabric, the threads, the colours and everything, they're all natural?
Yes, all natural.
There's absolutely nothing synthetic?
Even I don't have the shoes for the groom, but the shoes you see, we put the silk and we made it ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Callum.
Thank you.
And the other thing, as well as being natural, is everything is handmade.
Everything. What you have seen, my show in Natural History Museum, 100% handmade. I don't know whether you notice some of the, I don't even use a zip. You know, you see all the buttons.
So it's all hand-done fastenings as well?
It is quite difficult when I try to design something. You know, it's very nice. Nowadays, it's all fitted dress and things. And when I have to design something, I have to think, because I don't use zip. So button, how could I make these things? But at the end, it's like, oh God, I mean, you know, it's nice because you create something which is thinking, got a lot of time. Because the reason I use natural buttons and things, because we have a lot of palm trees and we have a lot of coconut trees. And I saw the villagers, they throw away the coconut shells and things. But, you know, most of the work I do from the village woman, if you can give this button industry going, so village people can work.
So you're creating work by what you do.
That's fantastic.
I mean, there's so much here to talk about. I'm sorry we don't have any more time, but thank you so much for bringing all this stuff in.
Thank you very much to invite me. Thank you.
Right, well, I know what I'm wearing for my wedding, Angus.
Good.
And you're going to look lovely in it as well. So it's time now for Style 999. And today, hair and fashion dilemmas will be answered by both Barbara and Rachel. And so let me just remind you that we want to hear from you if you would like to join us on Living It Up. All you have to do is give us a call or drop us a line. Our address and telephone number will be coming up after the show. Angus.
Great. Well, our next guest was the first woman from Bangladesh to study at the London College of Fashion. And after graduating, she went on to become a top model working for the likes of Yves Saint Laurent, Kenzo and Giorgio Armani. However, in the early 90s, Bibi Russell decided to return home to concentrate her energies on designing and to realise her dream of using fashion and creativity to help eradicate poverty. And she joins us now. Bibi, it's lovely to see you.
Nice to see you.
We've just sort of detailed your life very, very, very quickly there. But tell us, what was the real inspiration? There you were in the 80s, modelling in Milan, very glamorous life. And you gave that up to go back to Bangladesh.
Well, actually, what I'm doing is my dream. So I'm making my dream coming true. So it's much more fun. And who says it's not glamorous? Glamour is a different way, you can say. I mean, most important thing is, I'm so happy. My mental satisfaction is priceless.
Where did the dream come from, Bibi?
Since I was little. You know, when you are born in a country like Bangladesh, people only hear about misery. So you come to Europe to study and people say, girls like you exist? I said, of course, you know, things like exist. So, of course, I knew one day I will go back and do this.
Now, your dream is actually that's getting people to work and create in Bangladesh?
Actually, my dream is, I was always fond of artisan, handmade things all over the world. In my country, also, it's people do beautiful things, but people don't know. So my dream is to promote this kind of thing.
Now, this is the kind of thing that actually is coming out of your workshops and your weavers, because of the materials that you use.
Everything what you see, it's like natural things, you know. It's nothing, I don't use any synthetic or anything, because we are very good at natural things.
So this little top here, little halter neck top.
No, this
It's
is a
bag.
It's a bag.
And this is all made out of handmade, everything sewn.
Everything. It's made out of jute and dyed naturally, and it's very much in fashion now.
How did you actually set about setting up your business when you went back to Bangladesh? Because I mean, one has the dream, but how did you get it going?
Oh, well, I'm still in the first step in my ladder. I think it's going to be a long time since, it will take long time, but at least I'm going somewhere, I'm doing it. Of course, we have these people, and you have to give them self-confidence to do their work traditionally. And me living 20 years abroad, I know what is the fashion world, and of course I get help from everyone. I'm very lucky to get help by media, designers. My college, look, after 20 years, they're helping me in every way. So you
So
just
that's the
try
London
to
College
get
of Fashion are
London
helping.
College of Fashion, and you want to find a global market, which is important.
But Bibi, you say you've got a few people working on this. We're actually talking about 35,000
Well,
weavers all working.
yes, but Bangladesh has 1 million weavers, so 35, it sounds very nice when I sit here and say, but inside me, the day I will be able to give half of these weavers work, I will know I'm somewhere, I'm going.
Yeah, but that's 35,000 weavers that
Yeah.
who you are helping to feed
Yeah,
and
of
clothe
course.
and educate
Yeah.
because of the money.
Actually, I'm helping them to earn the money.
Yes.
So once they earn money, they live better.
Yeah.
So you are getting them out of poverty. Their children are getting education.
Well, let's have a look at some of the things that the weavers are making, which go on, obviously, to become fashion items for us here. Now, let's see. I think we've got Joe standing by, who's just showing this very, very beautiful, colourful outfit there.
It's very simple, Bibi. What inspiration do you draw from to create an outfit like
actually,
this?
I'm not confused living in Europe, seeing a lot of things. So I do my design in the villages with the love and affection I have. What I have inside, I transform to in my design, because the fabric is already nice and colorful. You don't need too complicated. You
And
need
what
simplicity.
kind of working conditions are the weavers working in? Is it very traditional?
To make the fabric, it's the traditional way. And then I just try to invent new kind of fabrics, so we find the market. And of course, it's not the condition what you expect in Europe, but
Yeah.
it is getting better.
Let's have a look at what Soraya's wearing. Again, a very beautifully ethnic. But I mean, those
that's
fabrics
amazing.
are just gorgeous,
Yeah.
Bibi.
I love
What's
those
it, Bibi,
colors.
the trousers? They've got a kind of shimmer.
Yeah.
What are they made
It's
from?
a silk with a cotton mix to give you a shine and then a dull, and it's all vegetable colors.
Now, these clothes are so beautiful, but you actually aren't selling them through any shop in Britain.
You don't have
Yes, I have one shop, Cocoon, who have them, but that's where I am here to find the market. That's my main aim.
And you've actually got an exhibition going on at
Yes.
the moment. You had an exhibition a while ago, I understand, and then you went back to your native Bangladesh, and there were just the most dreadful floods. What was the devastation like around the workers that you were working with?
I cannot tell you the experience. I have never seen anything like that as I was living out of Bangladesh. That was the worst flood we had for a century.
And it was last autumn.
Yeah, last autumn. It lasted like 3 months. So all my work, what you see, it's come from the village. So everything was underwater. What I did, I had a very successful collection showing in London, Fashion Week in September. Instead of going into production, last 6 months, I working in the village to rebuild what they have lost. So now I am again ready to show my collection and find the market.
Did you find that really disheartening to see all of that work just destroyed?
Oh, there was one point I thought I wouldn't be able to do. But as I have a lot of love and affection from people, and that's one thing I didn't want to lose my strength and energy, so I went back. And I didn't know what is day and night. 6 months I was just stuck there working, trying to give them the confidence that, okay, we will do it. And now we are back again.
Do you think that's given you extra strength in your designing?
Yes. When you think about so many people think you can do magic, but I keep telling village people, I cannot do magic, but I can do I can work hard. I will do it. Even my lifetime, I wouldn't be able to see it. But don't worry, it will continue.
Oh, Bibi, thank you
That's
so much for coming
fantastic.
in, because I really do find it very inspiring.
Oh,
the fact that
thank
you've got so much sort of faith in what you're doing. It's a wonderful.
I'm
Thank
sure
you
that you'll
for all
find an
the
outlet in
support.
Britain.
Just cross your fingers for me.
Thank you, Bibi.
Great. Well, after the break, we'll be meeting the woman who